Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. I am Xandit, flying solo for now. Hopefully not for this whole stream, but we'll see what ends up happening. We have CSU Vikes versus BPCU, which I forget what that stands for, but it is a Christian university.
Brewton-Parker Christian University.
Brewton-Parker Christian University. That should be in the Twitch title, so.
Let me check if it is.
We have the first bans here. I don't know if this is... NACE last year was Fearless, but that was for the upper leagues. I don't know if we went down a league or if we maintained our league for NACE. If we maintain, this will be Fearless. If we drop down a league, then this will not be Fearless.
I have a Grandmaster here. Interesting.
Oh no, it's the Grandmaster.
Yeah. They do have a Grandmaster on their side. Oh no, it's Shy.
Shy is there. He is a very skilled player. Half of his team left, graduated last year, so... This college is very stacked in terms of League of Legends, from what I remember. They did take a hit. They have a silver and a bronze player on their team, and I think also a gold. But they have 6 players on their roster, or maybe 7, because I know that there's 2 top laners that alternate as well. So I think it's 7 players on their roster that are all very solid. Their only weak links are their support. They don't really have a solid support yet. So they're going to ban the Ashe. Don't think that's a target ban. I don't think anyone on CSU really plays Ashe.
They also did their first ban too.
Yeah. I forget her name. She's a new character. She does the little cape spin thing that reflects projectiles.
Oh, I can't figure that out, can I?
No. The Silas ban, that's definitely for BPCU's mid laner there. Viego, I don't know if our jungler plays Viego, but I think they do. I need to pull up Twitch chat on my phone so I can get roasted later. Let's see what is going on here. Who is CSU going to ban next? I would assume they would probably go for another mid laner here since that's their concern with this match. We're actually going to see the Caitlyn ban. Okay. It's probably a target ban, I would assume, coming from CSU. That or going into this first match, they probably don't want to play against Caitlyn with who they have planned and what's already been banned. We're going to see the Mordekaiser ban. That is definitely a target ban. We're going to see Inara come out. That's actually huge. Pantheon support, or even top lane. It could be top lane. We have seen Pantheon jungle as well recently, though I have not seen it pull results. I'm going to be real with you. See the Aurora, possibly meta top. Probably top with the current meta, but we'll see what ends up happening. It could be, you know, some sort of way to kind of make CSU comfortable and ban other characters. We have the Zinzao coming out for our jungler. That is a solid pick here with the Yunara. BPC. No, we still have CSU pick. We're going to see Poppy. Poppy supported Poppy top. I would like to see this be support, actually, because I feel like Poppy support has been hitting it pretty nicely recently. That just leaves me to guess who our ADC will be. Lucian Pantheon could actually be pretty disgusting, but I'm sitting here rooting for Pantheon being jungle here. I could be wrong. We'll see what happens with this final lineup, but I think Pantheon jungle seems to make the most sense right now. That or it's Pantheon support with Lucian, which makes not a whole lot of sense in terms of synergy, but they probably have some sort of stupid plan. That's how these things go in collegiate.
And when there's a plan, there's a way.
We also need to turn down the ads on the Twitch. So we banned the Milio and why is her name Nami? There we go. We banned Milio and Nami, which is interesting. And we see Victor and Oriana. So they're already cautious about Scrub McLord on mid here. Oriana not being something that Scrub McLord picks up a lot, but Victor probably being the counter here to the Aurora. I'm going to see Vex come out, which is another very solid pick here for Scrub McLord. Basically, same concept as Victor here. Could be very, very strong. Lucian Braum is very scary as well. It's probably why they ended up banning the Caitlyn. Lucian Braum is basically the second best pairing for Braum, with Caitlyn being the first. And we're going to see Cassante top lane here. So Yunara Poppy bot lane will actually be... I think that synergizes okay. That'll be their mid laner, I'm pretty sure.
Alright, can we go back to the game?
Yep. So that will be Pantheon jungle, I'm pretty sure. Unless they're doing Aurora jungle, which makes no sense. But Aurora seems top. It's got to be top lane. Top lane against Cassante. That could be anyone's top lane, really. Cassante has a lot of good movement options, though. But Aurora is just kind of on the dodge-heavy stuff.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Where am I going?
You're waiting.
Oh, okay. I'm fine. Because then when the game starts, the game will pop up on this end.
Yep.
Okay. Thought I did something wrong. A little nervous for a second. You said we needed to turn down the ads too.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pivot to that real quick. They're gonna see things actually, so maybe we shouldn't do it yet.
Okay.
We'll wait. We'll wait for the BRB screen to come back and we'll change it. Cause I got like 7 ads.
We could just go to. How long does it take
For.
to change the ads?
Oh, not bad at all. We can just go to a BRB screen right
That's what
now.
I'm gonna do. I'll just transition to start soon. All good. So let's do it. Here you go.
Alright.
Teamwork makes the dream work, Brad. Oop. Oop.
I hate that it didn't save the bookmarks. I'm not happy. Where is the stream? Or the ads? The fuck?
Hey, the mic's still on, bro.
Oh,
Lock in.
they can't hear me. Maybe they can.
Yeah, I can.
How is it that sensitive?
It's pretty sensitive, man.
Someone removed the noise gate, probably.
Probably. Monetization. Ads.
There we go.
How many video ads went on per hour? Potential revenue increase, so just lower it to like.
Yeah, why is it set to 5 minutes?
I don't know, just lower it. Yeah. There we go.
Who keeps messing with the ads?
Alright, so we should be good. Take it back to the game.
You take the mouse. Take the mouse power away from me.
Alright, I'll go back. I'll transition to the band screen. There you go.
Overall, I think the Yunara Poppy should be fine. I think that's what's going to be bot lane. Yunara is still a new character, so they're kind of like bouncing around in a lot of places, mostly mid bot, but
When did Yunara come out?
let me Google that because I don't know like an exact time frame, but like some point over the summer.
Oh, okay.
Uh, 16th of July.
So just about 3 months.
Yep. I think the most exciting thing about this matchup is going to be the Vex into Talia. I think Vex wins that, which is good for us. The thing I am not looking forward to is figuring out where this Pantheon's gonna be.
I'm curious how they work around this Grandmaster. It does just depend on who it is, but
If the Grandmaster's jungle, I'm gonna cry, because that's a bad thing, because that's everywhere all the time, always.
right.
But considering we were target banning mid in the beginning, and then we target banned their supports. Which, like, granted, Braum's good with Lucian, but Lucian with Nami is scary. Lucian with Milio is also scary, but not as scary as Nami, because with Nami, Lucian can just literally fucking run up and gun and do things and not be stopped. And then Nami can just W and heal to bounce things when you do escape, and then it'll bounce to you and it'll finish you, and then you're toast.
Alright. 30 more seconds.
Or, you know, you get bubbled because you didn't see the Nami beyond the wall. Or beyond the wall. I think Pantheon jungle is going to be their weak spot. I think that's what this is right here. That's going to be their Achilles heel. Late game, if it does get to late game, which it probably will with these teams, Pantheon's going to be really nice to have. But early game, they're going to suffer unless they have a lot of good coordination. Which, honestly, it's BPCU. These are a pretty solid... This is a pretty solid team, or at least it was last year. They do have 3 new players to the roster, and they're still trying to figure out who their top laner is going to be.
There you go.
So I do think there's going to be a little bit of a lack of coordination here, but... Alright.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. 30 seconds until minions spawn.
There you go.
Alright. Starting out here... CSU's not starting off with a pot for their jungler, which is a bit concerning.
Oh, is it still on my mouse?
Yes, it is.
How do I get it off my mouse?
You can't.
So just don't move the mouse?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll just move the mouse off screen. And then it should just put it somewhere?
Yeah, it should eventually.
Alright, my fault.
It'll auto cam.
Alright.
Well, there goes the first wave of minions. There is a little bit of a scuttle happening on bot lane, not that we can really see. Mid lane seems to be doing some things as well. If you keep clicking and moving your mouse around, it's not going to auto cam.
My bad, bro. I'm trying to make sure it goes to the thing.
Oh, you hid the thing. There we go. We're back. Just don't touch anything. Just let it be. Just let it be.
I'm not used to League, man. I play Smash Brothers.
It'll do its things at some point. Oh, did you pause the game? All right, open time controls.
No, did I mess them up?
You paused the game. Open tab controls. Press play. Hide time controls. Press the eyeball. Click on the can. Oh, don't touch anything. Just let it go. We got it. We got it. It's
Did
running.
I mess them up at all?
Oh, you know, you moved the mouse. Okay, never mind. We're back. We're back. We're so back.
Okay.
We're so back.
Is that? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know.
We're chilling. We're chilling. We got our Poppy walking up. Did NACE change their policy on skin usage? Because I swear last year, I guess last semester rather, we were not allowed to use skins in NACE. And now I'm seeing everyone using skins.
Wait, they changed it. I remember they talking about it.
Yeah, mid lane, Scrub McLord is a little bit behind on minion kills here on the waves, but he is a bit ahead in terms of HP against this Talia. The scary part is Talia can burst damage, so he's gonna have to play around that idea. But Vex does have the fear aspect, which can basically lock them out with an insane CC. You moved the mouse again.
I forgot. I was trying to mouse my other computer, bro. I'm working 2 things at once.
I am gonna do something.
No, go ahead.
Control shift and scroll wheel. Scroll wheel. Scroll wheel down. Scroll wheel down. What the heck? Control shift, scroll wheel. There we go.
More?
That's good. We're vibing with that angle.
Alright, looks like we're not even go.
We got first blood there. A huge, yeah, huge gank. That's going to be 2 there. Support's going to end up stealing that, though. That's not always a bad thing with Poppy. Yeah, this Aurora is absolutely eating Cassante. Top Dog is going to stay under tower here. He could actually potentially win this here. He is actually going to win it. Absolutely crazy play there. Using some armor from Cassante, he's going to be able to use that tower damage and keep Aurora there. That's going to be a trade there, though, for the Pantheon.
I mean, that's our freshman Reed. I mean, he's been picking fights a lot better these recent couple weeks, and seeing him take that there when it could have been a failed 2v1 situation really helped out. CSU Vikes.
He's going to end up warping back because he saw the Aurora warp back instead of walk back. He's not going to want to become too far behind on the eco here because that Aurora will walk all over him. We got 8 seconds to Drake. Not that we're going to see anybody really walk on Drake in this current circumstance with the way that waves are currently. Flying Red Tiger behind a level here on the farm. Not always a great thing to be when you're ADC. It's going to mean that you're going to be behind on a ability level. Yeah, I mean, just Vex absolutely shredding this Talia. We're going to be able to get a kill there. It looks like Ezeku's going to be our ace in the hole for this match, doing a whole lot better than the Pantheon already. CSU's up about a grand in terms of gold here. Still a little bit behind on the farm on all of our lanes, but that's not too bad of a thing. I think the Aurora here is the main threat. I think the top lane is where we're going to have some issues once this Aurora starts getting more AP scaling. In terms of mid lane, it could really be anyone. Talia versus Vex is about a 50-50. It's basically about as close as it comes when in terms of laning. I think I think things are gonna definitely change late game for the mid laners. Scrub McLord's gonna have to get some ganks himself if he's gonna be able to pull out through here. We're gonna see the Poppy go down there. That was a really bad misplay there. Committed a little bit too hard to that engage. This Talia is gonna end up getting a nice burst on Scrub McLord. It's not gonna be a death for Scrub McLord, but he might need to walk back and sacrifice a little bit of farm, which is not gonna be a great thing because that gap's just gonna continue to grow and that Talia is gonna start being able to burst a lot of damage out on the Vex. I think bot lane is doing pretty solid right now. We're behind farm on Lucian, but I think overall, with that assist that we got, at the very least should close that gap there and give our Yunara a chance. Zeku's going to come up wanting to put some pressure on this Aurora. We're going to see the Pantheon come back as well. We're going to see them fall back. That's going to be the ult coming out from Melody. Yeah, no, the Pantheon's going to be able to change this escape here. Could they collect the bounty? I don't think there's a bounty currently, but yeah, no, they're going to get that double kill. Putting the Pantheon in a very strong spot there with a nice gank, or I guess counter gank, really. Paired very nicely with the Aurora ult. It's a good ult there from Scrub McLord. Or not ult, I should say, but more so fear. He's gonna follow, and he's gonna miss his skill shot there, but that's okay, because he's gonna be able to claim that kill. He's gotta get out of there, though, because that Pantheon's coming back. He's gonna juke out the Pantheon Shy. That is the Grandmaster, by the way. That is a huge juke for Scrub McClure to take. Yeah, and that's gonna be it there. Shy is unstoppable with that 450 gold bounty now. CSU really needs to claim that. We are falling behind in gold all of a sudden. I mean, Poppy's at least going to get this kill here on Shy. Getting the exhaust off. Pantheon's pulling up the shield here. Poppy's going to be able to claim a shield, maybe. Yeah, Talia's going to rush in. Devil's got to get out of there. He's going to end up going for a really weird routing there, and that's going to be it. I mean, he didn't really have... He was dead anyways, but that routing was really bad. Could have set up Yunara, maybe, for a support gank. At least get some damage off on Talia before they return the lane. Set up Scrub McLord there for a kill. Now, Void Grubs. Claiming Void Grubs is big for CSU. It's going to allow us to claw back just a little bit, especially if we start getting tower damage. Flying Red Tigers really got to close the gap here. I think that kill on the Poppy getting 2 kills now is not necessarily a bad thing. I think what is the bad thing is the fact that Yunara is so far behind in lane, behind this Lucian, that it's just, it's not looking all that great. I mean, 2 assists is 2 assists, and it's not that bad, but it's still, I mean, we just saw Lucian pick up Essence Reaver, and we're still on Pickaxe. We are starting to see BPC, or Brewton-Parker is what I'm going to start calling them, move towards Drake here. They're organizing on bot lane a little bit. They're setting up wards. They see the Poppy. This top lane is looking very, very bad for Top Dog as well. Granted, Aurora is honestly pretty scary against Cassante. I don't know why we picked the Cassante knowing that Aurora was in the game, but... I mean, he did get that nasty kill off earlier, so maybe it's a bait play for late game. We are seeing that Pantheon kind of zoot around on our side of jungle. He's going to come down. Xin Zhao is going to miss that. Flying Red Tiger is going to get a kill, though. This gank is not going to be great for Shy. That mistiming was not that great. He might actually pay for it. Xin Zhao getting the hook off. Poppy going for the slow. Flying Red Tiger going to be able to get... probably shredded here, actually. This is looking really bad for Flying Red Tiger. Yeah, that's going to be a kill for Shy. I mean, the Pantheon just so overfed. That's going to be a triple for Pantheon. Really, really bad scuffed play there for CSU. I mean, yeah, that Sundered Sky is what gave Pantheon that advantage there. I mean, we just saw Xin Zhao pick up Sundered Sky, but it's not going to matter so much anymore. I mean, you know, Yunara is now going to be behind in lane, even more so than before. Blade of the Ruin King's not bad. It's going to increase a lot of things for Yunara, including a little bit of lifesteal, which is good for, you know, healing off the farm. I think it really just comes down to mid lane and top lane now. I think Yunara is going to have some use in late game, but without much... I mean, like, looking at Devil's a whole level behind. Flying Red Tiger is about to catch up, at the very least, to Lucian, but this Poppy's not going to be too great playing into this where it's at. Especially with the Talia, especially with the Fed Pantheon. The CC from the Pantheon is going to be insane. Yeah, Scrub McLord slayed Talia there. How did that happen? Talia was just at half health. That had to have been a tower shot with a Fear CC. I mean, Top Dog's spacing this very well. He's you know, taking his time. He's played patiently. He's playing under tower. He's doing this how he should be after taking 2 deaths like that. Especially with it, Aurora with 3 assists, you know, so much farm over you. I mean, 66 farm to 107 farm is really, really bad, especially with the amount of magic pen that this Aurora is going to end up having once they buy their next item, most likely. We're going to see Devil pick up Deadman's Plate, which is not bad for Poppy support, but you'd like to see better items in the situation here. They're probably looking to get some first hit damage off at the very least, be a little bit more threatening, probably going for the objective clears. We're going to see the Pantheon come on and just kill Yanara. Gotta be careful with that Pantheon ult. Especially when he has Sundered Sky, because that's first hit, Sundered Sky, that ult's immediately critting, that's like 90% of your health bar. That's nothing you can do. Sundered Sky is so good on Pantheon for that reason, and I think Pantheon being so far ahead with 9 kills, insane amount of gold lead here for Brewton-Parker. It's not necessarily GG's yet, but CSU's got to get these grubs in the next minute. They have to immediately lock in on these grubs. Otherwise, you know, you let Brewton-Parker get 3 grubs on your 3 grubs. Any sort of significant effect that might have for CSU is immediately canceled out. Yeah, Devil's somehow taking this Pantheon, doing quite well actually with it. But yeah, Shy's just gonna get a double kill there. Not a whole lot you can do. I mean, like, getting a shutdown on this Pantheon will be very nice for whether it's Vex or Cassante, preferably, at this point. But yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do. That's going to be a nice little pickup there for Zeku. Casante's starting to pick up a lot of magic resist here, which is going to be a little bit helpful at the very least with laning against Aurora. With the rest of the team here, Casante's going to have to work with his natural armor, which is going to make him very susceptible to this Pantheon. I feel like if he just buys this 1 item and starts building armor, he's going to be the threat to this Pantheon that we need for CSU. But that's going to be if someone else can counter this Aurora, which I don't think is going to be possible. Yeah, I mean, look at how much damage Pantheon's doing to Cassante. That was all Shy. There was barely any damage coming from Aurora to begin with. That was all Shy. I mean, Black Cleaver, Sundered Sky is just, that's going to shred any bulky character. I think that's the reason why they decided to go Black Cleaver there, was just for the Cassante. And possibly the Poppy, in case the Poppy does become a threat, which I don't think it will, but... Yeah, we're going to see top lane turret fall there for CSU. Also, bottom lane turret's been gone for a hot moment. Scrub McLord trying to hold on to something here on this middle turret. Kevin gonna be walking down into river. I haven't seen a whole lot from Braum this game, but he is definitely doing his thing considering he's been shielding. I mean, this Pantheon's already soloing Drake, most likely. I mean, they're moving on Drake now. Pantheon has every opportunity to solo Drake if they want to. I see Kevin roll up on it. Yeah, I mean, Devil's gonna see that Talia just peek out a little bit. They're gonna know that they're on Drake. Not a whole lot that can be done. Casante's pushing top tower, taking claim tower here. That'll be useful. It does look like there's gonna be a team push here on middle tower. They take middle tower. That's gonna be a huge eco boost for the entirety of Brewton-Parker, and that might just be game if they take this tower right here, right now, which it looks like they're going to, given, yeah, a Herald's there. I'm gonna see Lucian use Herald to get a little bit of CC going here. That's gonna be another kill on Vex, and it looks like a big scoop of damage there on middle tower. Brewton-Parker is looking like they're gonna want to finish this off in the next 5 minutes, the way that they're pushing. Xante's also trying to take top tower here. Xante's going to take top tower. That's a good objective to take. He's going to go into jungle and probably back out. Yep, we're going to see him go back to spawn. That's 2 big towers taken on mid lane here by Brewton-Parker. Not looking so hot for CSU. I think that is honestly what the lead that Brewton-Parker has from those 2 towers being taken. It's a huge eco hit for CSU. I don't think that's going to be something that they can come back from. I think that's game here for CSU. Game 1 here. I mean, Lucian's slowly becoming a threat. You have this Pantheon, which is an absolute insane threat. You have the annoyance that comes from the movement restriction from Aurora and the mobility of Talia. Which, I mean, this Talia is still going to go down because they don't... Oh, I mean, that's a trade. That's a trade. I mean, the Yanara would have been okay. We're not seeing a whole lot from our ADC this game, unfortunately. They're so I mean, CSU in general is just so far behind everyone in terms of CS here. I mean, the way that they've kind of encircled this tower here, they're going for bot lane tower next. Zeku's trying their hardest to at least maintain something. Getting a little pokes out. I mean, Flying Red Tiger just got absolutely obliterated there. I mean, the Yunara is just so squishy right now against everybody on Brewton-Parker's team that they can't really get any value out of anything at this point. And I think that's the hardest part is, you know, your Poppy can't stay alive. Your Cassante built for mostly worrying about this Talia and this Aurora, so it's like the one major threat that kills everything in the game has no counter right now. And the one thing that you'd want to counter it is some range damage from your ADC, but your ADC can't even do that because they try to get in range and all of a sudden they're at, you know, 1/10 of their health from one hit from this Pantheon. I mean, you're starting to get Braum here have a bounty. That's when you know things are scary. If your support on the enemy team has a bounty, you know things are going very, very poorly. Talia's gonna take top lane, probably go for a solo tower take. That fan from the server, dude. Sounds like a drone taking off. Xante's gonna come up, top dog. Going to scare off the Talia a little bit. Which is probably a good thing. Talia's not equipped to fight Xante right now. Which is probably what we want. The Canic Rookern is a good fit against the Talia. I mean, we're gonna see them come back to top lane regardless, but this is a huge fight. The Aurora ult gonna come into play here. Scrubmic Lord gonna get taken down from Melody. No, they can't do anything. Their answer for it was this Yanara, and Yanara was denied so many resources early game. I think that's the problem, is that, like, mix of the Yanara needs to be teaming up with these tanks, and we keep getting called out for our ADC not being with tanks. And the Pantheon just comes in, hits 1Q or 1E, and Yanara is at 1/10 of their health and a sitting dog at that point. You know, Brewton-Parker is doing a great job at also targeting specific players from CSU, so they'll just flat out ignore people and group up on another, you know, aim all their abilities at one person. Which, meanwhile, CSU is a little bit disorganized in that sense of the fact that they're kind of focusing on whoever's closest to them. Yeah, they're trying to do damage to try to scare things off. Yeah. I mean, again, all it takes is this Pantheon hitting one person who's squishy, and, you know, they're dead, regardless of targeting or not. I think the only two things that this Pantheon can't really kill quickly is Poppy and Cassante, but even then it doesn't take a whole lot for Shia to be able to do any damage.
Is this game at all another reach for CSU?
No, this is over for CSU. In order to win, they'd have to win a team fight with Baron buff, and they'd have to have at least one Drake here.
And they'd have to take out Shy.
Yeah, the Shy would have to die. Well, obviously it's a team fight. They'd have to win the whole team fight.
Right, but taking out Shy would open up the team fight, because then with Shy there, I think they don't win a team fight.
Yeah, they have to target Shy first, which I think in general, given how strong this Lucian is right now too, considering they just picked up Immortal Edge,
right.
that's going to be a very big sacrifice. By the time they kill Shy, it'll probably be a 2 versus 4, maybe a 2v3.
And they're already almost down 10,000 gold.
Yeah.
It seems like it's all but around
Brewton-Parker.
Yeah.
I mean, like, look at Cassante just getting absolutely shredded by a Pantheon. Like, yeah, Zeku's gonna go down. Or no, Zeku actually got a kill there. Never mind. Yeah, we're gonna see them push hard on mid tower here, Braum and Lucian. And again, Flying Red Tiger getting absolutely shredded with just one ability from Lucian. I think this just comes down from spacing from Flying Red Tiger. We saw them having decent spacing early on, but now they're getting a little bit too overly defensive as an ADC. They shouldn't be taking damage. They need to be letting this Lucian whiff their shots and then moving in from there. I mean, granted, once it's a 5v5, Yunnar kind of just can't do much because Pantheon exists. I mean, yeah, we're going to see the ult come down. Gremlin Lord's going to be able to get out of there, but without fear. Okay, at the very least, he hits both fear there. Shad's going to recover fast. Yeah, and that's just a dead Scrubbing Lord. We got 14 seconds till Baron here. Baron Nashor is going to be probably the biggest loss that CSU can take here. I feel like after Baron Nashor, it's probably GG's. I mean, you have Talia pushing bot lane here. Yeah, Shay might actually die here. Top Dog's gonna get the shutdown. That might actually be big for CSU. We need to get Cassante back to spawn to buy an item from that bounty. Yep, he's gonna come back. They're gonna take this inhibitor. That might be fine though. If CSU can take next Drake, and potentially a Baron, this could actually come around. I mean, Scrubbic Lord's holding on as best they can here. Kevin's going to come down to support Talia. That's not the kind of thing you want to see when you're Vex against Talia here. I mean, Shy still has a 600 gold bounty. If somebody else can take that, that might be a big thing here. I mean, Cassante bought another item here. Unending Despair is actually probably what we need as a team. It's not going to do a whole lot, but it's going to give him the armor to actually stand up against this Pantheon. Which I think is the one hope that we need to see from Top Dog here. If this Pantheon gets 2 kills, it's really, really bad. Top Dog's not going to be able to win this, no. He does not do enough damage to fight this Pantheon. That's going to be it. That's a triple kill here for Shy. And yeah, that's... Again, 3 kills, Shy, another item in the bank for them if they returned right now.
And that's only level 17 on the board too, so it's just...
Yeah, I mean, Melody's also level 16, which is the second highest. CSU's got 2 15s. And Scrubbic Lord and, what's his name? Top Dog. Cassante might be level 16 now, but... And yeah, they're going for this Drake immediately. And CSU's just not going to be able to take it. They might try to contest this Baron here, but...
They need the Drake.
Yeah. No, this is...
If you try and contest that Drake, Shy's just going to
Yep. Superboy's gonna get out the seat of their pants from that nice stun there from Lucian. Lucian's gonna end up claiming 2 there. Triple kill, actually. Flying Red Tiger's gonna go down.
They just have to, they're just forcing as you said.
I mean, that's a whole ace from Lucian. Lucian got every last hit from that.
That should just be the game.
Yeah, that is game. I mean, we have 16 seconds on the board. Poppy's not gonna be able to do a whole lot by themselves.
And for CSU, it's the start. They had some decent stuff going in the start, but then they just started getting outmatched and they put their fights early. And then you just got Shay going, and Shay just started taking out the
Yeah, BPCU, Brewton-Parker taking game 1 here from CSU. We're going to be right back on a BRB. Don't go anywhere, though, because we'll be back soon with some more League of Legends for round 2 of the first week of League of Legends NACE. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. We do have the fearless bans here for the characters from the last game. Yunara being banned is probably good for CSU here. Definitely don't want Yunara being picked again, ever, for this whole game, whether it's CSU or Brewton-Parker.
I don't think it was a bad test. I mean, game 1, you want to try some new things, see it.
Yeah.
But, you know, Yunara didn't really work out in the manners that they needed.
No, I also don't like the fact that we picked Cassante into Aurora.
Right.
I feel like that allowed the Aurora to kind of just like exist freely for the first half of the game. I mean, the Cassante started popping off in the end. Let's be honest. The Cassante was a great pick late game. But early game, I think we needed something that was a little bit more out there because top definitely needs to carry in that matchup.
Correct.
Looking over what we could pick here, BPCU is probably going to target ban for Scrub McLord again.
Correct.
Like last time. We probably don't want them playing their Caitlyn. Though granted, now that Brahm's out of the picture, Caitlyn's not that scary. Question mark. You know what? I'm gonna pick up. I'm gonna go to lol.gg, and we're gonna see what Caitlyn's best duos are. LOL Analytics. Let's look for. Rank solo duo. Caitlyn build. Synergy good.
Good insight, sir.
They could still pull out a Soraka or Janna and be better than Braum, honestly. Rella's up there. Zillion's just honestly the GOAT of support, for being honest. Zillion's really hard to play, though. We're still not seeing any bans come out so far. I think we're still trying to decide what's happening with this. They might still be on a break here. As far as CSU, I think the Ashe is probably what's getting target banned. Ashe support.
We have one viewer.
We have one viewer.
We have any viewers right now.
It's a League of Legends. It's not that deep.
Is that how it usually is for League?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know if that was normal or not.
I think they just need to target ban jungle. I'm gonna be real with you. If they target ban jungle and force jungle to pick first, they pick jungle in the second 2 picks, CSU could potentially counterpick their jungle. I think that's what they need to do. I think that's what they need to do here for beating Shy. I think if they manage that, they'll beat Chinchillin.
I did click the spectator link, so I guess they just are.
I don't know why it's taking them so long. Have they started a game yet?
No.
What? 1 sec, they said. We're waiting for the other team, Brewton-Parker. Brewton-Parker said 1 sec, and that's been the end of it.
And I'll have to click the spectator link again to see if I messed up at all. No?
No, we're still chilling.
Yeah, fine.
All right, well, Brewton-Parker's stalling the game out because they want some more information. I'm joking. There's only so much I can talk about predicting how the bands are going to go, all right? They need to hurry up. I've been yapping for like 10 whole minutes about this. Brand Jungle. That's what I'm calling right now. That's what I'm calling Shy Picks. Bring back the Godel Classic. Brand Jungle.
I mean, with CSU, most of our league team is seniors, right?
For the most part, yeah.
So,
Seniors and juniors. 1 freshman.
right.
And then we have a substitute that's a freshman. Or maybe sophomore.
Yeah, so this will be like... It's just interesting to think about for the long term, especially with league... Oh, looks like they're starting bands.
Oh, here we go. We got the first band pick here from Brewton-Parker.
There we go. I started yapping, that's why.
Viego, that's a target band probably. I don't know what our jungler plays, to be honest with you. I don't think they play a whole lot of Viego, though. But, I mean, Viego's just scary, always, as jungle. CSU's thinking about it. They're thinking about it. They got 10 seconds on the clock to pick something. They're going to pick Silas, target banning that Silas yet again. There's something to be afraid of from that master in mid lane, apparently. We're going to see the Ashe get banned again. Unfortunately, our support has been ruled out. Let's see if they're going to start target banning the jungle here. No, they're going to go back for the mid laner again. Why are they more afraid of the mid laner than Shy? I think Scrub McLord can fight evenly against this. I'm going to see the Victor ban here. That's targeting Scrub McLord there.
Would Pantheon be a bad ban here?
Yes, because it's fearless. So we can't pick Pantheon.
Changed off of Victor, I think.
Yeah, they picked Ornn instead. They don't want the buff items. Our top laner has a very, very solid Ornn. Just like Jason from last semester. Our top dog here has also a very, very solid Ornn. CSU is really thinking hard about this. They're gonna target ban to Lilia. I think that's a good target ban, especially considering how bad we got messed with by that jungler. I think the only thing we need to be fearful of now is if they pick Hecarim. That's another character, or I guess champion, that Shy plays a lot of is Hecarim, and Hecarim has a huge movement speed, being able to place themselves around the map wherever they please in a rather brisk time. Hecarim's not very strong compared to like Pantheon, Lilia, a lot of other characters, but I think Hecarim can be really solid. We're gonna see the Mbessa come out here, probably top lane for some damage in team fights. I think that'll be solid. I think Mbessa is probably what we need. I have a feeling this is probably going to be Rumble top or Rumble jungle. If it's Rumble jungle, I am so sorry for CSU. Do not team fight that thing. Do not team fight the Yordle. Tristana, probably mid lane. I would imagine this is Scrub McLord's pick. It's a solid pick. It's going to have range on farm. It's going to have a lot of peel. I think this is a good pick to kind of deny the jungler any sort of room, along with the Mbessa. Both of those picks are very strong for just kind of getting out of there. The Corki coming down for the ADC pick here from Brewton-Parker with a Nautilus is actually really, really strong. You hate to see that for CSU because that means your bot lane is going to be suffering that entire game. Granted, Brewton-Parker's bot lane is, you know, you have a gold ADC and a silver support, so it's not that strong. But, you know, Liana, huge counter to Nautilus, in my opinion. I think it should be fine with that Liana pick. Liana. I don't remember how you pronounce your name. Close enough. I am not a stranger to mispronouncing names here in League of Legends. Alright, here we go. First ban here is going to be Vi from CSU.
And then Victor from BPC.
Yep, Victor's going to end up getting banned, even though I think the Tristana scrub McLord, so that's not going to really matter a whole lot here. Unless it's Tristana bot lane, at which point I'm going to cry. I'm going to cry for Scrub McLord in the sense that he got effectively target banned, but we're probably going to see an AP jungler here, I would imagine. We're going to see Wukong get banned. They are definitely target banning the jungler. I think this is Rumble top lane. Orianna's going to get banned. That's another target ban against Scrub McLord. Again, fingers crossed that this Tristana is the mid laner. We're going to see Jarvan the 4th here. Kind of goes in line with the Xin Zhao. Similar playstyles. Kind of similar routing a whole lot. They're going to try to go for that same thing that they probably ran at the beginning that actually was really good. We're going to see Trundle top lane. So this is, in fact, Rumble jungle. I'm pretty sure this is Rumble jungle.
Someone's gonna cry.
I'm like 90% certain this is Rumble jungle. Because Rumble mid lane's just horrible. And you're not putting Trundle anywhere but top lane. Which, I mean, Trundle and 2MBS is actually really good for Trundle. Yeah, Ahri, yeah, this is Rumble jungle. Oh my god. Oh my god, no. This is so bad for CSU.
How so?
They can't do anything if Rumble gets like 3 kills up. They can't do anything. They're all gonna have to build Magic and resist.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so bad. They're probably expecting Rumble top lane. That's probably what it was. Yeah, this is Syndra. Syndra shouldn't be that bad. Which means that we do have Tristana bot lane, which is kind of unfortunate, in my opinion. Tristana mid lane would have been really nice to see Scrubbic Lord play. But no, this is a very almost AP heavy team from Brewton-Parker. But this is also a very brutish team here from CSU. This is very brawl heavy with a little bit of poke from the Tristana. A little bit of dive from the Jarvan. Syndra's really your only ability power oriented, you know, magic character here. And I think that's going to make CSU suffer here with this Trundle and this Nautilus. They're going to be able to build easily. Rumble's going to be able to build bulk if he wants to. Rumble's going to be able to basically do whatever Rumble wants to do against this team. Again, this Rumble goes 3 kills up, and you're not going to be able to team fight that thing. Like, your only hope, at least with this team, is the Syndra Tristana trying to melt the Trundle, or the Rumble. In terms of Trundle, that's going to all come down to Syndra, not Tristana. And maybe Liana in the CC. Yeah, Trundle's going to have a really fun time playing against Mbessa. If this is a good Trundle, then we should be fine. Or rather, Brewton-Parker should be fine playing against Mbessa if they know what they're doing with Trundle. It could really go either way, I feel, on terms of top lane. Mid lane, I feel like the Syndra just beats out Ahri. The only fear here is Rumble jungle is going to be so good for Brewton-Parker. Especially considering that was their first pick and we target banned 3 characters for their jungler. And their jungler's just sitting there scheming like, I picked Rumble. Meanwhile, we keep banning junglers.
I think we just did bans poorly.
Yeah.
Like we need a target on them in game, not with their bans. I mean, they got scrubbed ignored pretty good with
their bans. Yeah, they banned the Victor, they banned the Orianna.
So
the Viego ban doesn't really hurt a whole lot for CSU, I don't think.
I don't think we instant lose here, but they just have to be very careful at picking fights, otherwise the Rumble.
They have to be careful this Rumble. That's the major thing. The Corki could also pop off. The Trundle's gonna be terrifying in late game from the slows. The Ahri can become a threat, namely because we don't have like any tanks on our team. I mean, like we have Liana, but that's like CC. And that's also support, so it's like they're not gonna be too bulky. So I think it just comes down to playing distance, playing safe, and playing for objectives, honestly. Playing not for, like, maybe grubs, because grubs are going to be good in this situation, but, like, letting them have a Drake or 2. Focusing on tower if we can. I think getting a gold lead is more important than Drakes right now for the kind of setup, especially being a brawl-heavy team. Versus Brewton-Parker's abomination of range. I mean, I guess Rumble's not too ranged, but they're going to have to get through the Nautilus and the Trundle to get to Rumble. I mean, like, the slows from Trundle in of itself is just going to be the bad part, I feel. I think that's the major thing that we have to be really, really worried about here is the obvious synergy between Ahri, Trundle, and Rumble. I mean, the Yordle's strong. That's all I'm going to say.
good point, sir.
I don't think they expected the Rumble jungle. I think that's why they picked the team that they did. I think they expected Rumble to be like top lane, probably. I'm starting to think the Rumble's a little bit of a troll pick now.
Oh, right. Oh, they're going to the game, so we'll wait. Alright, and it should be already set up, right?
No. We're gonna have to reset up the overlay stuff.
Got it. You can use the other two.
Sweet.
Demands your destruction. You will go.
Bottom one. Very bottom one. Sweet. We're good.
Okay, sweet.
Oh, also update the score to 1 for Brewton-Parker.
Right.
Welcome
Just moving my
to
mouse over.
Summoner's Rift.
Score on the right.
We're gonna see a little bit of a trade here. Shy actually playing the Trundle jungle.
Should be good now.
Okay, this might actually be not that bad. Trundle jungle is not bad,
I'm closing.
but it's not good. Yes.
So my bad.
You're good.
Just moving the mouse over to the screen. I can't.
Rumble not being jungle is probably a good thing. I think Rumble into Mbessa, and Mbessa wins that. I think this is something that Top Dog can win. The Trundle jungle is not that scary. I don't know what Brewton-Parker's thinking with it. Probably the synergy with the Rumble and Ahri, most likely. And probably not the confidence to run Rumble jungle. Considering... Yeah, no, I think I have it figured out now. I think they're running Trundle jungle instead of Trundle top. Because Jarvan... Like, just the characters that CSU's jungler plays are very, like, brawler-esque junglers. So that's probably why they didn't want to play the Rumble into that. Because the Rumble does not play very well into, like, Jarvan the 4th, Viego, etc. So I think that's probably why that choice was made. So now that that's been made clear, I feel a little bit better about this Rumble. Considering the Rumble's not going to be roaming a whole lot early game, I think this is honestly not that bad of a thing. I think Mbessa can handle that just well. I mean, like, look at the sheer amount of damage that Mbessa's just melting through with this Rumble. Superboy doing quite a bit of damage there to Scrub McLord. I will ask the control shift scroll wheel.
Oh, right.
Control shift C and then control shift scroll wheel. There we go. Perfect. I mean, actually, if this Rumble somehow healed, they popped a pot probably is what happened here, but... A little bit unfortunate there for Top Dog. And I mean, Jarvan's right around the corner to cut off this Rumble, but... We're probably going to see Trundle go for top lane as well, want to secure this Mbessa kill. If Trundle gets a double there on top lane, that's going to be a really, really bad start for CSU. We're going to see that hook there from Leona. We're going to see a root there in exchange from the Corki. Bot lane's doing pretty good here. Flying Red Tiger doing a decent amount of damage against this Corki. I feel like the Nautilus is really the only major threat here, being able to do a big hook there. We're going to see that Charm come in. Scrub McLord going to be very, very low. Maybe they can get a kill by luring in the Ahri. Maybe that's lessons been learned here. Zeku going to get absolutely decimated by Shy here. Top Dog's going to have to get out of here.
Just picking another bad fight.
Yeah, I kind of had a feeling that they're going to go for that. Yeah, Tristana Peel jump in on this Corki is going to be big. The support stealing that kill is not so great, though. Flying Red Tiger really needed that kill to get things off the ground here, and that's going to be really bad. Kevin's at least going to be able to die here, but yep, that's barely scraping by. Way too close there for a fight that should have both been gone to Tristana there.
And they can take what they can get.
Yep. They're at least going to be able to get farm up here from this wave, and they're probably going to back right after this. Yeah, he's just going to back. He's feeling a little bit antsy about Trundle running around somewhere. Not wanting to get bit by the troll. Yeah, Superboy's absolutely dead here. They might get their W back. Syndra's going to at least kill them. Yeah, it's going to be a nice finish off. Going to take a little bit of damage there from tower, but that's A-okay. And Besta should be able to kill Melody here. Actually, that's a really bad trade there. He should have pushed heavier into minions. He's going to get zoned out now by this Rumble, and it's not going to look so hot. Zeku going to start to get spaced out by this Corki here. At least he has some real estate on this Drake if they want to take it. I mean, yeah, Top Dog really just needs a good little streak here. Trying to lure Rumble up the tower here, and yeah, that's just going to be a missile taking that out. And Rumble's going to get their first kill for lane. I mean, Mbess is already, 10 kills behind on CS. Not looking so great. At the very least, lane's going to reset, and Top Dog will at least have priority on lane here. They're going to have to play careful, considering Trundle's just sitting right and low, farming Gromps. He's going to go for that Scuttle Crab, most likely, next. Yep, going for that Scuttle Crab, and he's going to probably walk up river and be able to just gank on Mbessa for the second time. No, he's actually going to back. Maybe. I don't know. Alright, Flying Red Tiger diving in on this Nautilus. Wanting to get that kill off. And Bess is definitely dead. We see Liana get the kill there. Yep, that's a dead Top Dog there. Not that many kills here for Tristana. Not looking so great for CSU on bot lane either. A little bit disorganized, letting the support get a kill. For the second time at the very least. Not what you want to see. We're going to see Flying Red Tiger at least get a dive down on this Corki. try to trade off some decent damage. Does get some good damage off. They're going to see that they are getting spotted by something. They're going to start going off to this Drake. CSU taking first Drake is actually a good change that we might want to see here, considering things are split even in terms of eco. Getting a Drake buff might actually be able to get things going in order here, especially it being Ocean Drake. I feel like that's pretty solid for Syndra and Mbessa. It's not going to really mean a whole lot for Jarvan and Tristana, and I mean, Liana gets some stuff from it, but it's not going to really matter a whole lot because it's Liana. But I mean, like, this Rumble's already looking scary. Having, you know, been away from lane for so long, and Mbessa's just so far behind, Top Dog can't really do a whole lot against the Rumble anymore. Where starting off, it could have been more leading towards Mbessa, but now things are a bit split even, and Rumble has the range advantage. Scrub McLord doing a lot of damage there on the Ahri on mid lane. Again, Syndra plays really well into Ahri. Even when charmed, I think it shouldn't be that big of a problem. Trundle getting spotted on mid. Scrub McLord's going to be able to call that out. We're going to see the dive here on the Corki. That's going to be Tristana taking a lot of damage. Getting out of there, flashing. That's a good stun there on the Nautilus. Flying Red Tiger getting the level up that they need. They have ult ready when they need it. They might get the double. They're going to let the Nautilus go. They're not going to waste the ult. They're probably saving it in case they get ganked. There's not that bad of a exchange here. That's going to be, yeah, Trundle getting the stone up. Getting a slow there on Zeku. Zeku's going to have to flash out of there.
Is that a good trade there?
For top lane?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was a good trade. It's good for Zeku, considering Zeku doesn't really have a whole lot of kills. That's Zeku's first kill. I think that was worth it.
I mean, we're up a little bit right now. Given your hesitation to start this game, a lot more well-adjusted than you probably would have thought.
I mean, I think Scrubbic Lord has the confidence. I think Mbessa's been a little bit overconfident or overzealous in the engage against the Rumble. Especially considering if you don't use your abilities to peel away from that Rumble, you're kind of taking a lot of bad trades there on lane. And that's what we've been seeing from Top Dog here. Spotting out the Trundle is actually huge there, though, for Top Dog. Immediately retreating under tower, letting things kind of sort themselves out. This is going to be a quick death, though, for Top Dog. Though Shy's going to go down very quickly. That could be another double for Jarvan. We don't know yet, because there is some things happening on bot lane here. Flying Red Tiger doing really, really well so far, alongside Devil. Yeah, no, he's going to be able to get his shield off there. No, that's a dead Kevin. Flying Red Tiger going to dive down on to tower here. Melody going to be able to take lane tower here on top lane possibly soon, but he's going to be out. Yeah, that Rumble is a dead Rumble at this point. That's huge for Zeku, and that's going to give Mbessa 2 kills on the board, which is not something to shy away from here.
We're hitting our fights a lot better in the second game.
Yeah, I mean, we did just see Ahri kill Scrub McLord there, but that's something that will probably happen time to time. I mean, you know, it's 1-for-1 now on mid lane. A trade that you expect would happen kind of at this point of the game. I mean, CSU did not take Grubs, which is not fantastic, but they can try to get the next Grubs, and if they do, that's really good for them. But if they don't, and let's say Brewton-Parker takes the next 3 Grubs, that could be really, really bad for CSU. They do have the better routing to Drake, though. I think the big fear right now is just how fed Shy already is. I mean, you know, already having Trinity Force at 11 minutes as Trundle is actually really, really huge. Being able to get the slows much quicker from the ability haste, along with that that true damage, which isn't a lot of true damage, but you know, true damage is true damage. And the attack speed increase with Trundle already, you know, Trundle's attack speed is atrocious. CSU is already gathering around this Drake pretty prematurely here. I mean, Scribblick Lord really wants to go for Superboy here. Zeku coming in. Not seeing Shy before. That Trundle's going to get that slow off. Devil's going overcommitted into tower there. Superboy's going to get at least killed by Zeku. Trundle's going to be able to take out Zeku, though. Scribblick Lord's going to be in a very pickled situation here against this Trundle. That's going to be a huge flash. Going to be able to get out of there alive.
Huge CSU could have been a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, it's 1-for-1 for that fight. I mean, granted, you could give Shy another kill, which is not something you'd want. Kevin getting a huge ult off there. Gonna at least be able to save. Okay, well, this is a dead devil, 100%, yeah. That was a bad trade in my opinion, but... they're gonna be able to kill Shy. And then we're gonna see Zeku come in at the very least and be able to probably take out Melody, so that's a fair trade, I'd say. Oh, maybe not. Melody's doing a significant amount of damage here to Zeku. Zeku's gonna let their ability stretch back up, but no, that's gonna be a very good outplay there for Melody.
Huge miss from CSU there, and now they're losing the gold race.
And again, there is nothing to scoff at with a Trundle Rumble duo here. I mean, Devil's gonna at least get another shutdown, but at this point, CSU's got to rely on the bot lane for things to happen. It's good that your support has a lot of eco here, but that eco can be dispersed a whole lot better. Flying Tiger's tower is also not in a fantastic position here. CSU's behind on the objectives, if we're being completely honest. They're up on kills, but look at that eco. All of those objectives that Brewton-Parker's been focusing on has given them an eco gain that's, you know, it's a very slim lead, but it's still a decent lead, nothing to scoff at.
Well, we were talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's Shy. He's just... Trundle with Trinity Force is terrifying.
No, for sure. We were talking about it during the break, but like they're picking their fights better than game one, but they're just picking one more now. Also fall down to Shy, start taking another balance. Exactly what's gonna happen.
Yeah, and Devil having, I guess not really a bounty yet, but being able to get out of there with that flash as well timed. Trundle's just going to start killing CSU's jungle here, which is not going to be great for Zeku. Devil's going to want to start getting some eco. I think that's what they're farming for. I mean, at this point, we're seeing Leona go for, instead of being a bulk-oriented build, we're seeing them pick up, I think it's called blood culling or something like that. It's not culling, something. But it's more of a damage-oriented support item. So we're seeing, you know, basically the CC stun into, you know, a little bit of a damage dump. Not enough to really kill anybody, but definitely enough to scare them and set up a kill. Yeah. I think that was just an information gap. We did not expect to see 4 people sit behind that wall there. I think that's the reason why Devil decided to engage on that once that information was found out. CSU was already overcommitting to it. I mean,
Brewton-Parker's just been able to adapt from that slow early game, and now CSU continuing to play off that back. Top Dog also likely going to go down here, but no.
Oh my god, Top Dog gets melted there. I mean, Melody has 8 kills. I mean, listen, as I said before at the beginning, you feed the Rumble is going to chew through this team, and we just saw that happen.
Right. CSU just needs to figure out a way to respond, and really his beach will do great. It just seems like, as you said earlier, they're just scrambling to get these kills, and not really targeting down. Superboy gonna have to fall back here as Devil and Scrubbage pushing him out.
Yeah, I think the Ahri is definitely the weakest link on this team right now. The Nautilus isn't doing that bad. They have picked some bad fights. They have 4 deaths under their belt. The Corki is doing their best with that in mind, considering if we're being honest, the Nautilus has been throwing lane. It's not been the Corki's fault at all this game. Right. The Ahri's just been up against Scrub McLord. And that's understandable. I think both mid laners are about evenly skilled. They're both master rank. They're both very good players in their own right. I do think Scrub McLeod's a little bit better. Ignoring the fact that Syndra basically counterpicks, but
Probably gonna go down and does, and he's shut down. Evan in the middle of a very bad situation. He goes down as well. Double kill for Zeku.
yeah, it's a huge team fight for CSU. They're going to be able to take out this Ari as well, who was caught in a bad rotation for some reason, still pushing lane. Still committing to the fact that they wanted the farm.
Suddenly the economy for gold average is a lot more even for CSU. They're gonna take out a third alongside it.
And that's going to give them a big eco boost here. They're still 1k down, but that's a big objective for them to claim.
I guess you want to learn on commentary after all.
I know, right?
I learned after a little bit of game one.
Shy kind of rushing in, providing a lot of pressure here. Tristana's gonna have to get out of there. They're gonna be able to blast them back. That's a huge Liana push there. Tristana doesn't have their abilities. They just popped it. This Rumble's coming in. This is a dead Devil here. Tristana should be able to walk away from Rumble and be just fine. Devil's not gonna be able to really do a whole lot other than stall here and try to pull them away from the team.
Melody also seeing that flying red tiger there is the economy goes back into the
Yeah, and I mean, taking Drake as well. I mean, you know, you still have more than 2 minutes for next Drake, but CSU really needs to get the next Drake here. Yeah, Superboy is going to walk up river here for top lane. Top lane might be a good thing for Brewton-Parker to push here, while oppositely CSU might want to be pushing their bot lane. I mean, like, look at Melody just walked up and basically took another tower. Their eco is off the charts at this point.
How do you see CSU getting back into the eco here?
I don't think they're necessarily out of this game. I think the issue right now is figuring out how to... Trundle's not that big of a threat. But Trundle with this Rumble together on a lane is basically unapproachable. Yeah. And I mean, we're seeing that right now. CSU's basically just poking them, and they've barely done any damage at all.
And they barely taken
Yeah, they're gonna start falling to this Rumble. Yeah, that's gonna be a quick sweep up there. That's gonna get them this inhibitor very easily. And again, you saw that Trundle, it's typically an iceberg, but that little green rock that he summons, basically trapping them into Rumble's flamethrower. That just absolutely melted through everyone's health bar.
Is that gonna be the game?
That might be the game, actually. I mean, Zeku's gonna have to the play of a lifetime to salvage this.
No, this is probably the game. Really just taking it out. It looks like that's it.
Yeah, that's it right there. GG's.
Parker taking it 2-0 from CSU. What a match it was.
I mean, that Rumble Trundle team up is honestly terrifying because the Rumble slow, quite literally in that team fight, trapped them into the Rumble's flamethrower.
Turn on that caster cam. Let's talk for a little bit.
Oh, we're turning on the caster cam. Oh lord,
Caster cam.
is it even plugged in?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
It is. It is in fact plugged in.
It's not on.
How do I turn it on? What the heck? There is no power button on this thing.
Oh.
Oh yeah. Well, let me unplug it and plug it back in, because you never know.
Yeah, hold on, chat. We're going to be setting up this camera and talking about this game in a little bit more depth to really understand why Brewton-Parker took advantage there.
Alright, right click on webcam.
Right click on webcam, video capture device, properties, deactivate, reactivate.
Go to device. Look for game capture HD60 maybe? Or no, that's the capture card. That's OBS camera. I don't know why it's not turning on. Is it not in there? Is this not working?
Doesn't seem.
Oh, there we go. It's on.
I got it. It was USB video device. All right.
All
We'll
right.
transition right now.
I like how we still have the. Let me adjust this real quick. Is there a zoom out feature on this?
I'm not sure.
Oh, we're just chilling.
Yeah. So Brewton-Parker taking that 2-0 over CSU.
Not a whole lot that can have been done there.
No.
I feel like once we started feeding the Rumble, again, as I said at the beginning of the game, the biggest fear for me was Rumble Jungle, because that allows the Rumble to roam and actually collect those kills.
Right.
But then, we had our jungler, Zeku, and, our top lane, Top Dog, just basically giving free team fights to both Trundle and Rumble. And I think, we saw the goal there from Brewton-Parker. You saw Trundle hanging up around top jungle a lot that game. And I think the goal for them was to get Rumble to kill, so that way Trundle can just
more.
Trundle could just drop their slow into a team fight, and Rumble could just walk into flamethrower and win.
Right.
And that's what we saw in that last team fight, was quite literally CSU got trapped by that rock and had to disperse in either direction to get around it,
Which
to
didn't
escape
really work
the
for
Rumble.
them. Because throughout this entire session, they've been trying to do damage control and just spread out the damage rather than just pinpoint one person and really get them out and start naturally having things fall for Brewton-Parker. But the rock and just how dominant Pantheon and Rumble have been in those last two games, it really cemented the fact that CSU just couldn't really pick fights well, and that's what Brewton-Parker took advantage of.
Yeah, and I think there's also another thing to be said about synergy there. CSU didn't really have in the drafting stage. They saw the Rumble, and they completely picked around. I guess the Mbest is a good pick if it's Rumble top, which did end up being Rumble top. But then we just played it incorrectly into the Rumble. We saw the Mbesta using their abilities to engage and do damage instead of farm and use their abilities to peel out.
Right.
Which is how you deal with Rumble, is that you want to out-farm Rumble, so that way you can actually start dealing that damage and effectively just shut down Rumble before they can start building up kills.
Which did not happen.
And I think the thing here was that CSU played top lane and played jungle very, very impatiently with that, especially knowing that Trundle exists somewhere, especially knowing, we don't have a distinct counter to Rumble on this team. If Rumble gets fed, what do we do?
It's also just a patience problem.
Yeah.
We're not... we start to play these situations well, and then as soon as we get into these cluster team fights, we won some, but those were mainly early game. Once we started getting into the late game and Brewton-Parker really got comfortable and won the economy game, they just couldn't get going.
And we saw in the early game, CSU was doing very, very solid. We had a small lead, and we took first Drake, and I think that was a big improvement from the last game. But I feel once we took first Drake, it was what's next? Nobody really had a game plan from post Drake. It felt like everything kind of fell apart. Everyone went back to their lanes and just kind of existed in lane. There was you had Zeku roaming, doing normal jungler stuff, but it was nobody else was really doing stuff. And I feel that comes back to what I think the problem from game one was communication.
Right.
Nobody was communicating what they needed. Nobody was communicating, what to do in team fights, who to target, when to peel back, when, whatever.
Which is what caused our game plan to mainly just be picking people off.
Yeah.
But even then, you saw how that led us to eventually just losing that economy game and eventually opening up that game 2 for Brewton-Parker to just move on and take those turrets in a big way in that end of that last team fight.
I mean, shoot, we got to see bottom lane, Rumble just kind of walk up, kill Tristana, and then take 2 towers by themselves effectively, and then you saw Trundle drop down Rift Herald, finish off that 1 tower, and then Tokyo drift around to mid lane.
Yeah.
And that was just GG from there. That was well played from Brewton-Parker. CSU played pretty well. I would say for the most part, our support definitely needs to word a little bit more. But I think the biggest part here is, I think, team effort, just figuring out what call-outs work, figuring out what communication we're lacking, and learning from this game to see where we need to be as a team in terms of moving across map, figuring out objectives. Because Brewton-Parker showed that they can, not necessarily solo focus on a target, but kind of create an environment to where they can take an objective and maybe even take another objective off of a single interaction that resets 1 or 2 people from their opposing team. And CSU, they kind of get a couple kills, and then it's back to farm. They don't really take advantage of, oh, maybe we should go award this so we get information. Maybe we can do this.
And
kind of
like we
thing.
go back to their Manchester game last week.
Mhm.
They were picking a lot of fights, not very well, and this week they started picking fights a lot better. So as a team, they're developing their synergy. They're trying to improve more, but when you're faced up against, especially Shy, just really being that X factor the whole way through and keeping Brewton-Parker together, you don't really have that for CSU. So someone needs to just step up and really be that commanding force in communication.
And I think that normally comes down to a jungler or a support, because they tend to get the most information. The jungler is being all over the map, placing wards, XYZ, and the support's whole role being getting information, being placing wards, being, you know, having vision on these objectives that they need to have.
Right.
Because those are two roles that roam the most. Not to say that mid lane doesn't roam, and mid lane can be a powerful tool, but mid lane needs to focus a lot on the farm, a lot on staying ahead of everybody in the game. Because the moment your mid laner falls behind, that could be game. Because typically your mid laner is your only AP. Typically your mid laner is, you know, the person that you need to depend on to clear out. Like, let's say your ADC falls in bot lane and they're about to take tower. Well, guess what? Your mid lane can go pivot. They pivot that down, they can save tower.
But it's just
So
they
it's-
just don't have that game plan.
No. And I think that's it's again going back into just they take a kill, they get advantage, and then they do nothing with it. They go back to farming, and that can still be good. Farming is something that you can do, but I feel like if everyone goes back to farming, we're not properly utilizing the time that we gained
Right.
from that disadvantage, or I guess getting the advantage over the other team.
Hey, but that's next week to learn on. We get a
Exactly.
whole weekend to develop this game plan into our next game.
I think the next league game, which actually I am going off camera here. I think the next league game is, if I'm not mistaken, Wednesday or Thursday.
We get to check. I'll go check.
I have it on my calendar actually.
I'm also the production guy, so I should also still be accurate.
True. But yeah, no. We'll be back on Monday with some Overwatch, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely drop by. Say hello if you can.
Our next league game will be NACE Week 2 against GMU on the 16th.
On the 16th,
7
yeah.
o'clock.
So that's Tuesday, right?
The 16th is Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday. Next league game is happening Tuesday. So definitely drop by. Say hello. I have been Zandit with production from Dr. Curb.
Hi guys.
And this has been a wonderful afternoon here at CSU with League NACE. Hope you guys